It's Breon. Okay, y'all. So I have been watching this story unfold about the singer David and how they found the body of his girlfriend in his car. And I can actually say that because that actually happened. I don't have to say allegedly. Anyway, so we're about to get into it. We're going to go ahead and watch the new evidence. This just happened about an hour ago. They have more evidence that just came out. So let's just go ahead and watch, you guys, because this is honestly pretty interesting.
Decomposing, partially dismembered, in a Star's Tesla trunk.
She was left literally to rot.
It goes beyond the pale of what any human being ever would do to another human being.
One of the dumbest people in the world.
That's controversial.
To leave the body of his girlfriend in a trunk of his car.
I definitely smell a rat.
We need to delete this.
A dead body in your trunk can really hurt your reputation.
Residents in Hollywood Hills grow tired of a dusty 2023 Tesla Model Y with a Texas plate parked on the street for a month and report the vehicle. Days later, employees at Hollywood Tow notice a foul odor coming from the car and call police. Officers discover a decomposing body found in a bag in the frunk of the Tesla. Human remains wrapped in plastic, placed in a bag, and hidden in the front trunk of the Tesla are severely decomposed and partially dismembered. Police say the person was a female, 5'2", weighing 71 pounds, with wavy black hair, and was wearing a tube top and black leggings. The person appears deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found.
A missing little girl, Celeste, just 13 years old when she goes missing, found decomposing, partially dismembered, in a Star's Tesla trunk, who is now whining because his tour is canceled. The music star I'm talking about has gone multi-platinum. But before I talk about all of his musical success and how much money he's making and how famous he is, can I show you what he just reposted? Okay, of a guy chopping up luncheon meat. And he says, me, if I see her talk with other dudes. You know, not a good look when your then 13-year-old girlfriend is found dismembered and decomposing in your Tesla. And as I recall, to Israel Salas Rodriguez joining us, senior news reporter, U.S. Sun, not just dismembered and decomposing. I mean, by the way, that video is from @Brian on TikTok. You could smell the trunk as you approached the Tesla. And isn't this true, Israel Salas Rodriguez, that the Tesla was noticed by the neighborhood because it was so dusty and it had been sitting there for so long? My point is, how could somebody put a then 13-year-old little girl in a trunk and leave the car there for weeks on end? How long was that car sitting there, Israel?
That's right, Nancy. So the car was reportedly sitting there for weeks in an affluent neighborhood in Los Angeles, the Hollywood Hills. Neighbors complained about a foul odor coming from the Tesla. However, it wasn't until early September when authorities finally impounded that vehicle from the neighborhood.
Was the Tesla moved a couple of times when it was sitting out on the street?
That's unclear right now, Nancy. However, there was reports from neighbors that the Tesla was parked in a home in that same area in the Hollywood Hills, and then days later, it was parked on the sidewalk.
It's a little weird to see a car that I haven't seen here for a long time. Had a big dent on it, had a Texas plate on it. So all a little odd.
One neighbor says the distinct-looking Tesla was parked on the street for some time in front of the house that was searched, and later in 2 other spots on the street. The vehicle stood out because it has a Texas plate and a big dent.
That from our friends at WABC7. To Dave Mack joining me, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Isn't it true, Dave, that she was so decomposed she had to be forensically identified? Isn't that true?
Absolutely correct, Nancy.
Okay, again, Joe Scott Morgan, I'm just a felony prosecutor. Could you explain what that means? I mean, I'm guessing that means that they didn't open the trunk and look at her and go, that's the little missing girl, Celeste. She had to be forensically identified.
Yeah, to kind of frame this out a little bit, Nancy, her Celeste measurements, her weight specifically in life, you ready for this, was 120 pounds. The remains that they have are somewhere in the neighborhood of 70. So no, they could not have been able to actually visualize her and say, yeah, this is Celeste. This is who we've been looking for. No, they're going to go at this. I do understand that she has specific tattoos, and they were able to use that. I can only assume her family's involved in this.
Put them up, please. Okay, specifically one tattoo, a tiny tattoo on the inside of her finger that says, shh, shh, and you could only see it if that finger was held up. There it is. There's the
tattooing a 13-year-old.
Now, I just saw another tattoo, and I'd like to see it again. That was the other tattoo on her finger. So Mom and Dad couldn't see her tattoos. David, wow. David, the musician. And it's on her ring finger. Hello? David, the musician. And it's on a ring finger. But you know what's interesting? Can I see Joe Scott, please? The shh tattoo. What a coinkydink that David, some people look at his name and it looks like D4VD, and he pronounces it David. He has the same tattoo on his index finger.
Wow.
What a coincidence. Isn't that odd, Joe Scott Morgan?
Yeah, what else is odd is that a child this age has tattoos. All right, so just let that sink in just for a second.
Why does she
the fact that she does have this tattoo, though, was certainly beneficial as far as getting her remains identified. And listen, you can't just go based upon the tattoo. There are other elements here. We have
Look
some
at that,
clothing.
Joe Scott. We were just showing her with the ring on her ring finger. That's on her left hand. When she goes missing, she's 13 years old. Listen to this.
The 13-year-old became friends with singer David on social media and ran away to Hollywood to see the rising star. Celeste was returned home to Lake Elsinore by police. Celeste remained in school for a month. Then in May, David picked Celeste up in a Tesla to go to the movies, and she has been gone ever since.
This little girl disappears for the first time when she is just 13 years old, after she goes to meet a musician who has gone multi-platinum, and they start talking online. She goes to a concert, somehow hooks up with him, and they start talking online. That's the working theory. He's not charged with anything, and I'm very curious about that decision. Let's hear it all from the horse's mouth.
Hello, my name is David, pronounced David, not D4VD. I'm from Queens, New York. I'm in Houston now. I am a gamer. I love video games. I wanted to be a professional gamer before music. That's actually what pushed me into music, was getting copyright strikes on YouTube. And I kind of just used my own music in my montages after my mom told me to, because I was crying to her about it.
That is from the Genius YouTube channel.
The 20-year-old became a YouTube star playing his favorite game, Fortnite, and commentary. His channel was defunded due to his use of popular music he used on his videos that he did not license. He says his mother told him to make his own music for his videos. He downloaded a free music app for his phone, and his music career was born. Using his own music in his gaming montages, Burke begins uploading his tracks to SoundCloud. His music gains more attention than his gaming montages. Self-produced song Romantic Homicide goes viral, leading to a record deal. Romantic Homicide is certified multi-platinum.
Has anybody actually looked at the lyrics of Romantic Homicide? Let's put it up on the screen so we can all take a look. Okay, we definitely need to shrink on this. In the back of my mind, I killed you, and I didn't even regret it. I can't believe I said it, but it's true. Do I love you? No, I hate you. In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. And I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive. Take a listen to David promoting his song, Romantic Homicide.
So what inspired the hook, In the Back of My Mind You Died, is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died. And I didn't even cry, not a single tear.
That is from the Genius YouTube channel. A lot of you may not be familiar with his music. It's not rap. It's more like R&B. I've listened to a lot of it, specifically Romantic Homicide. He's also ventured into clothing. I'd like you to see some of the shirts that he, David, has offered online for sale. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, are those blood-spattered shirts? It looks like, is it in a car? I don't know where it is, but that's him with blood-spattered shirts. To Joanna Nevis, veteran criminal defense attorney. Joanna, you are fully versed in guilty conscience. Sometimes the cleanup is worse than the crime, the cover-up, so to speak. Why would he suddenly remove shots of him with bloody T-shirts? It looks like it's even in a car.
Bro. Ew.
Why? Why would he do that suddenly?
You know, Nancy, so many people, especially celebrities, are represented by, what we say, like public relations representatives who will advise them to do certain things so that they can attack things before the damage happens. And, you know, this is somebody who was in the spotlight. He's already being attacked about his lyrics. He's already being painted as the person who is, you know, likely responsible for this because he had a relationship with this person. And he is likely being told that he should take these images down. Although these images are a part of his overall brand, we're talking about creative expression.
I can't wait. I can't wait for you to try that on the jury. This was his artistic expression. What more do we know about this guy?
Burke has released several singles, including Here With Me, that charted on the Billboard Hot 100. He has recorded 2 EPs, and last April released his first full album, Withered, with the Withered World Tour starting last month, and canceled the day the body in his Tesla was identified as Celeste. His deluxe album is shelved. His record label, Interscope, suspended the album's release and paused all promotional activities related to David. His endorsement deals are canceled.
Well, do I have this correct, to Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, that after Celeste's butchered remains are found in his Tesla trunk, he continues touring for several weeks until the outcry online it becomes too noisy to ignore?
It's unbelievable, Nancy, that bloody remains are found in a vehicle registered to you, yet you continue on this world tour like nothing was found in your car, and only stop when the remains are identified as a missing child from Lake Elsinore. He went on about his daily business after a bloody, chopped up, decomposed corpse was found in his abandoned car, Nancy. Think about all of this. And it goes beyond the pale of what any human being ever would do to another human being.
You know, Dave Mack, apparently you and I are the only ones concerned. Because as of this moment, when we go to air tonight, there have been no charges at all. Okay, he's in a relationship with her. She's a runaway.
This shit is
times
wild.
2. She's been gone over a year with him. I bet if we timed those photos, we'd find out how long she's been with him. And now she's dead. Now, okay, look at this live stream video of David and Celeste.
Oh, yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, big family. Bro, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta stop with him if you even. We need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
What's the secret to peak health?
Why you wanna delete,
Going
bro?
micro with Noom. Micro
Why you
habits,
wanna delete?
micro wins, even microdose GLP-1s.
I can lose up to 11 pounds in 30 days? Heck yeah!
Now starting at just $99.
Stop whatever you're doing and go to musksanta.com. You're going to...
That's from our friends at the Daily Mail. An integral part of any homicide investigation is a timeline. It's critical. Based on a timeline, you can alibi people, you can unalibi other people that you're looking at as a suspect. It changes everything. And in the last hours, a video has emerged potentially placing this little girl, just 13 years old when she goes missing, at a David D4VD concert in Maryland on August 24. Significance. Very quickly, Dave Mack, when was Celeste's body found in David Burke's Tesla trunk?
She was found on September the 8th.
And it had been sitting out on the street in posh Hollywood Hills for weeks that we know of. So that gives me a timeline. That's what I'm getting at. So if she is alive, if this is in fact her in the video, August 24, and then we've got September 7, that gives me a timeline. Let's take a look at the video right now. This video has been circulating. Video from @Clips of David on TikTok. Now, isn't it true, Melissa McCarty joining me, investigative reporter, host of the Killer Genes podcast, author of The Making of a Crime Reporter. Melissa, thank you for being with us. Isn't it true that Celeste's body was found in a black tube top and ripped jeans? Isn't that true, Melissa?
She was about 75 miles away from where she was living with her family in Lake Elsinore in the Hollywood Hills.
Now, I'm going to come back to you on that, Melissa, because I don't think she was living with her family anymore. She was at one time, and then she goes missing. And according to neighbors that we have heard about tonight, she had been living with this grown man, David Anthony Burke, a.k.a. David, for a long time. Some sources date her relationship back to her age 11. Did you see that picture of her as a little girl? Yeah, age 11. We can establish age 13. You are seeing video from @Clips of David on TikTok. I want to see that again because now we are learning. Moses Castillo joining me, former supervisor detective at LAPD, private investigator for the Dordelian Law Group. Castillo, look at this. People are saying, no, that's not her. So it's a young girl that looks just like her, that is wearing her clothes, that is in a balcony reserved for special guests and family. And Moses Castillo. By the way, this is from @Clips of David on TikTok.
That
Moses,
definitely looks like her.
same clothes. People are saying, oh, wait, I don't think that's her. Sure looks like her. Who should I believe? Them or my lying eyes?
Yes, I believe it is her, and I believe many people also believe it's her.
Yeah.
Guys, this is from a Silver Springs, Maryland concert, August 24. And if true, these photos create a timeline from August 24 until her decomposing body is found in Burke, artist known as David, Tesla, in an impound lot on September 8. It's reported the Tesla was parked on the street for about a month before being reported abandoned. There is, I assume that is the front of the tow lot. It was reported abandoned September 3. Now, we now have a timeline from August 24 to September 3. Not when the body was discovered in the parking in the tow lot, but when it was reported abandoned. The body was already in there. We have now narrowed the timeline down from August 24 to September 3. I want to show you another video that we dug up. Take a look at this. The words, I got time to kill, you got time to fill, we got blood to spill all over the new car seats that I'm sleeping on. Okay, let that sink in just for a moment. You got time to fill, we got blood to spill all over the new car seats that I'm sleeping on. Take a listen to this.
Friends of Burke thought Celeste was 19 and his girlfriend. Describing Burke as a very shy, quiet person, friends said they saw Burke and Celeste together a lot as a romantically involved couple. Thinking Celeste was a student at USC, friends of Burke saw Celeste at age-restricted venues and clubs.
So apparently she was being passed off as much older than she actually was. And I've noticed in all the photos that are posted of her, she's always covering her face. Very curious. Bombshell tonight. Crime Stories now streaming first on Fox 1. That's right. You can now watch all the new episodes of Crime Stories first with Fox 1. We are so proud to have a partner who furthers our mission to always, always seek justice, whatever that may be. Watch episodes first with Fox 1 24 hours before they are seen anywhere else. You can even try 7 days for free. The brand new season of Crime Stories airs now on Fox 1. Click the link in the episode description to learn more and watch first on Fox 1. We learned that overnight, the musician known as David flees his $3+ million mansion. He was paying $20,000 a month and breaks a lease. So getting out of that mansion was more important to him than losing a lot of money.
Burke was living in a home leased by his manager, Josh Marshall. But since police served a search warrant looking for blood at the residence, the singer decided not to live in the $20,000 a month home. The owner, Mladen Trifunovic, says Marshall signed the lease in February, and he didn't know Burke was living in the house. After the raid, Trifunovic says they didn't want to live there anymore and are breaking the lease. The home was previously owned by Halle Berry.
You're not seeing a really good shot of it. The beautiful side of the front. Oh, by the way, these shots are from our friend Harvey Levin over at TMZ. Take a look at this. So he leaves and breaks a lease. Coincidentally, Melissa McCarty joining us, investigative reporter and host of Killer Jeans podcast. He breaks a lease to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. He may have had to pay out the lease. I don't know how many years. It was $20,000 a month for how long? How many months? How many years? He breaks the lease and flees in the middle of the night. Tell me about the search of that mansion that just went down, the mansion that once belonged to Halle Berry.
Well, police officers are looking for anything to help build a case at this point. So they're looking for traces of blood throughout the property. They're also collecting all kinds of electronics because they also, a huge issue here, they need to prove the extent of this relationship that he had with this child. You know, so they're looking at communications, when they met, what age was she when they connected. So anything that could help them build a physical and digital forensic pathway.
Mladen Trifunovic, the owner of the home Burke was renting for $20,000 a month, has hired a private investigator, Steve Fisher, to try and find out what was happening in the home he owns. Fisher was hired shortly after a forced search warrant was served at the home. Nobody was home when police served a search warrant.
The LAPD says Celeste had been deceased for weeks before being discovered in Burke's Tesla. Private investigator Steve Fisher says he has seen surveillance video from neighbor homes and knows exactly when the Tesla was last moved and who moved it to the location from where it was towed in very late July.
And the only way to amass that information, to gather it, is from the cams in the neighborhood. Listen.
Surveillance cameras in the Hollywood Hills built a complete timeline showing when Burke's Tesla was parked on Bluebird Avenue, who parked it, and whether anything was placed in the vehicle after it was parked. There's also no evidence indicating Celeste's body was transferred into the Tesla after it was parked on the street.
Joining me right now, private investigator Steve Fisher. He's been on the case from the very, very beginning. Missing persons private investigator, search and rescue specialist, and owner of Search Investigations. He is the one hired by the Hollywood Hills property renter, the leaser, where D4VD David Burke was living. You claim that you have amassed camera, video camera evidence from the neighborhood. And that having looked at that, you've pieced together a timeline. And you know when Burke's Tesla, with a dead body in it, I think, was first parked in the neighborhood. When was it first parked in the neighborhood?
It moved to that last spot on July 29th at about 11 something in the morning. And I'll tell you, it was in the same shape that we saw it in those tow photos where it was completely dirty and trashed. I could tell that they had run the windshield wiper once just so they could see out of it. And they had rolled the window down to move it, even though they're moving about a block and a half. But it was in that condition still. So it had not been used in a long time. They had clearly been just moving it around different areas of the neighborhood.
July 29, 11 a.m., Burke's Tesla was moved to its last location. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know where it was parked before that?
That I don't know, because from the house that it was taken from is a little bit down the hill, but on the same street that the rental house is on.
Okay. So you're telling me the Tesla that held Celeste's decomposing body was ultimately left on the same street where he was living?
It looked like it was coming from the rental house. I can't say for sure, but there's only a few houses on that street because that's like an off street. And it came down that road and was turning onto where you go up the Bluebird there, where it was left.
Wow.
Okay. Are you telling me on a video you can see the Tesla coming from the direction of his house?
Yeah, so the road is curved, and so the house that captured that is kind of at the base of the curve. So you can't see, you can see it coming down the road. You can't see exactly where it started, and you can't see the driveway of the rental house. It stops right before that. The camera angle does.
Wow. Okay. Did you see any camera video of any nature that showed the Tesla parked in that area prior to July 29?
I have seen the images that I obtained from the Department of Transportation on the day it was ticketed and towed, which was September 5th. And then I have seen a video that shows it in May of 2025, very clean, but actually parked on that Bluebird Street, that one where it was ultimately towed from, but it was clean at that time.
Ollie makes mealtime so easy.
It's delivered right to your door, portioned, fresh, and ready to go.
We get a tailored meal plan designed for Beatrice.
It's the best time to refresh your home for less at the Living Spaces New Year's clearance event.
Joining me now, Scott Eicher, who has actually performed experiments with a Tesla. Founding member, FBI Cellular Analysis Survey Team, former police officer, homicide detective with Norfolk, Virginia. Currently, Precision Cellular Analysis. Scott, thank you for being with us. Explain what you learned about this Tesla, other than the fact that if the trunk is open over 10 minutes, an alert is sent by text or email to the owner.
Yeah, and the Tesla, as we have talked before, has numerous cameras on it, so that you get these alerts when the trunk is open or the front trunk, they call it the frunk. And there's a small area in the front of the car there, in the front, that you can put baggages or groceries. That's what I use it for. But in this case, her body was found inside the frunk of the Tesla. It's a very small area, and you can see some of the pictures. This is my daughter here
Who
sitting
is
in it.
that? That's your reenact. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. That's my daughter. She's about 100 pounds, so it's pretty tight in there for her. But if the victim in this case with Celeste, she's already deceased, they're more foldable and bendable at that point in time.
Scott Eicher, how tall is your daughter?
5'2", 100 pounds.
Okay, that's generally the same size as Celeste, generally speaking. Scott, it's almost a 360-degree video of the surroundings of the car. What all would the cameras catch?
They catch numerous aspects, front, back, and side of views of the camera. And this is me reenacting, bringing a bag to the front of the car, opening the hood, placing that bag into that frunk area, that little space that we saw earlier, and then showing. As you can see, that's the dash camera in front of the car and right by the mirror. And it's facing right down the front of the car. So anybody coming to the front of that car will get viewed pretty clearly, as you can see. And then there's cameras on each side of the car and the rear of the car too.
I want to remind everyone that as we go to air tonight, David Anthony Burke, aka D4VD, is innocent in the eyes of the law, and he remains innocent unless the presumption of innocence is pierced and overcome by evidence that proves him guilty. Take a look at Celeste's little middle school boyfriend.
She said how her mom didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like where she was at. We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away. And she said it was because of her parents, and she was like joking about it, and she was like happy, like joking like she always was. And like it didn't seem real because like she was like playing around, joking about it. And the next day she wasn't at school, and like that's the last time I saw her. My heart dropped. I was like, I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. I kind of had a feeling when I saw like the first thing. I was like, what if it is her? But I just like brushed it off. But when I saw it really was her, I was like, damn, I really knew.
That's from our friends over at TMZ. That's Celeste Rivas' little middle school boyfriend, describing how years in the making she had trouble at home. Why did Celeste Rivas continue to run away from home? How did everybody know that there was trouble at home? As a matter of fact, on this occasion that she ran away from home, her sister went looking for her, even poking her head, the sister, into a liquor store, asking if they could look at the surveillance video and see if Celeste had walked by. And sure enough, Celeste was caught on video cam on the incident when she ran away from home. To Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, what happened in that instance?
In that instance, Nancy, we actually can see that Celeste is kind of doing a walk run.
Oh, hey, Dave, look at your monitor. We're showing the video the sister got from the store, and there she is literally running away from home. Let me be clear. Celeste was not in the liquor store. The surveillance video showed her going by. This little girl running away from home. And I got to ask, why? In this video from our friend Harvey Levin at TMZ. Now, what were you saying, Dave Mack? I just wanted you to see the video.
I just wanted to point out that, that video was at 7 a.m. That's when it was taken, at a time when children would normally be going to school. But so instead, Celeste is clearly kind of in a confused state. If you watch her stride, she's partially walking, partially running. It's like she's not quite sure what she's going to do. But that's the last they see of her. She takes off. And it's a fascinating read into the 13-year-old that is trying to figure out what to do. And as you just pointed out, Nancy, this is a child who spoke about being unhappy at home, not being treated well at home, and wanting to be away. And when I see her walking and stutter stopping kind of, and then running, it just breaks my heart.
Imagine this, Celeste, a little girl, sister, also a little girl, goes looking for her sister, asking stores and homes along the way if they had seen her sister. Even a young girl going in a liquor store asking if they had seen Celeste, and could she look at the surveillance video. And here is Celeste, 7 a.m., running away from home. Now, I'm certainly not the church lady, but I can tell you this. You need to know where your 12-year-old daughter is at 7 a.m.
A friend of Celeste's mother, Mercedes Martinez, says the family was aware of the relationship with Burke. She doesn't know why they didn't ask where she had been staying. Celeste left again and went back to him. Someone called Celeste's mother and said, "Stop looking for her. She's fine." Take down social media post about Celeste being missing. She felt scared and took down a social media post asking for help finding Celeste.
As we go to air tonight, David Anthony Burke, a.k.a. David, a.k.a. D4VD, who, by the way, his music is through the roof on Spotify. Amazing. The irony. That said, he is radio silent, although we are learning he's going on social media and monitoring Reddit users. Everybody posting about Celeste's murder. And he is trying to control the narrative as it relates to him. So he's not totally quiet. He can go online and do that, but not mention a word of condolence. Speaking of remaining silent, did he not notice Celeste wasn't there? Did nobody say, "Hey, where's Celeste?" Apparently not, because she was never reported missing by either him or her parents. Yeah. Digest that for a minute. Nor was his car reported stolen. Interesting, right? That's called circumstantial evidence. And again, Burke is innocent. He will not be guilty unless he has been charged and proven guilty in a court of law by a jury of his peers. Is this real? Has this enormous gift to the defense just dropped into their lap? It all goes to a myriad of pill bottles found in D4VD, aka David Anthony Burke's home. A myriad of pill bottles belonging here to a myriad of people that were living there in and out and in and out. Based on those pill bottles and so far a lack of a COD, cause of death, does this mean no one will answer up for a dead teen girl decomposing in a hot car trunk? Listen.
Bottles of prescription pain medication and drug paraphernalia are recovered inside the home, not by LAPD, but by Steve Fisher. The LAPD did not publicly disclose finding prescription drugs or drug paraphernalia. Other people were staying there as well, men and women. Their personal belongings in guest bedrooms, bathroom cabinets, and bedside tables. A neighbor reported seeing Celeste sitting on the curb in front of the house as if she was waiting for someone to let her inside.
What does it all mean? We know, based on neighbor accounts and more, that Celeste was living in the home of David Anthony Burke, a.k.a. D4VD. He says David. Straight out to special guest Steve Fisher joining us, missing persons private investigator, search and rescue specialist, owner of Search Investigation, who is hired by the owner of Burke's mansion. Now, I want to get to the fact that there is no COD right now. In my experience, a toxicology report, a screening would have come back by now, which leaves me concerned, Steve Fisher, that we're not going to get an accurate toxicology report. Why? Because she basically baked and melted in that Tesla trunk. What did you find in D4VD, David Anthony Burke's rented mansion, specifically?
So there was opiate prescription medication. There was a few bottles of that. And then there was paraphernalia that you can use to smoke different types of drugs. It's not for, one type. It's something you find in a smoke shop,
Steve Fisher, without divulging names, were there names on the pill bottles of opiates?
They were, and they were hydrocodone. They were Lortab, generic Lortab, opiates, painkillers.
To Luke Kenton joining us, senior investigative reporter with Daily Mail. Luke Kenton, thank you for being with us. You see where I'm going with this, right, Luke? If there were multiple pill bottles of opiates, and, from what I've seen, and it hasn't all made it into mainstream media, there were a lot of people in and out, a core group living there, but a lot of people in and out of Burke's home. There were a lot of pill bottles reportedly in Burke's home. Where I'm going with this is, if we don't get a COD, cause of death, if she's too decomposed to get a good toxicology screen, the argument is going to be, Luke Kenton, she voluntarily, all on her own, just gobbled down a bunch of opiates and she died. That's how she died, everybody. We had nothing to do with it. And then out of fear, we hid her body. That's where this is going, Kenton. Do you have any idea, Luke Kenton, who the people were going in and out? It was like Grand Central Station at Burke's mansion. And who were the core people actually living there? Any idea on that? Have they been identified and that has just not been released?
They haven't been publicly named. There has been, obviously, as I'm sure you're aware, a lot of online sleuthing going on around this case and trying to piece together the blanks that the LAPD aren't currently filling in for us publicly. Some of these individuals, and I can't speak to the people that may or may not have been living at the home, but there was a group that David was often seen with on social media. One close friend in particular that appeared to be involved in his music team in some capacity.
Okay, so basically what you're telling me, there's a lot of people in and out and nobody can confirm it. Let's see that shot control room that we got from our friend Harvey Levin over at TMZ. The mansion is covered in security cams. So we know who goes in and stays overnight on a daily basis. It's not rocket science, Fisher, to figure out who's living there. All you have to do is ping their phone and see, is it there night after night after night? I mean, do I have to connect the dots here?
I think you
No,
do.
it's like you said, it's not hard to do. In fact, they
girl.
put it on their own social media. There's constantly, photos in the house. There's a group of 4 or 5 of them that are always.
This is where it all begins. You want glory? Wow. You gotta go all in.
Okay, who wants a jersey?
Yeah.
I thought we were getting cars.
Toyota. Let's go places.
Always there, and they're kind of David's, groupies or whatever. They work with them, but they're always around. So these are people that were definitely using the house kind of as a home base, at least.
You know what, Fisher? Let's just cut it. Let's just cut through it. All I need is one witness. One witness to crack. One of Burke's insiders to tell the truth about the night Celeste died. Otherwise, no one is going to be held responsible. That's the way it's heading right now. Things could change. When you say a core group, what does that mean? Are you referring to the 2 to 4 people we think live there with Burke?
Yeah, or at least we're staying there often. They might have had their own residences too, but they had belongings there. The nightstands were being used. In the master bedroom, there was female products, and the bathroom was completely filled with things where it wasn't just an overnight type of thing.
Conspiracy theories abounding online as to what really happened. Listen.
The David and Celeste thing is the most obvious Hollywood satanic ritual I've ever seen.
That actually hurt my ear. My ears are bleeding. And that is from @SupremeTings on TikTok. There's more. Listen.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest, gotta be honest with y'all, bro. The David situation
is all a PR stunt, okay? You guys are all falling for it. Do you not notice all of us literally singing in the back of my mind? Like, bro, it's a literal PR stunt. He hit #1 on iTunes.
Okay, he lost me with the Cruella hair right there. No, I'm not putting him on the stand. With another crazy theory, and that is from @light, L-I-G-H-T, Sun Zane on TikTok. Take a listen to this.
If this is a setup, what a perfect person to put it on, right? He's got sad, depressing songs. He's got songs about murdering. He is the perfect candidate to set up and frame for a murder.
I don't think David did it. I know I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. Y'all might get mad, but I really don't think he did it.
I'm gonna be honest. David did not do it, man. David did not do it. Like, y'all need to spread the news, man. David did not do it.
I think it's safe to say that David did not kill nobody, bro. Didn't do it, gang. Yo, bro, just think about it, bro.
That is from @KillerA3. It is from @Curicio2, from @TaganHooks, and from @NKStacks, all on TikTok.
Shocking information uncovered by the LAPD has the investigation spotlight finally pointing on Burke. Investigators have developed new information that leads them to believe Celeste likely died in the spring of this year, and the death is being tentatively treated as a possible homicide.
What has changed? What has happened? Why is D4VD, David, now reportedly being viewed as a suspect? Will this result in murder charges? How can this be without a toxicology report as of yet? But to Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, what I consider to be really validating what many court viewers knew, that D4VD is being considered as a suspect, although it has not been officially announced, is the change in the timeline. Now we are learning that police sources believe Celeste was killed back in the spring. And bombshell tonight, police also looking at a road trip taken into a remote area by D4VD in the spring, where he stayed in that remote area for hours before returning back. I can only assume this information is coming from his nav system, or is there a rat within Burke's camp? Because tonight I definitely smell a rat. Let's start at the beginning, Dave Mack. What do you know?
Well, Nancy, we know that D4VD took a trip to Santa Barbara County, which is about 100 miles from the house that he was renting and taking about 2 hours to drive, okay? So he takes this drive in the middle of the night in the spring of this year, and he stays there for a couple of hours. Now, they say remote area of Santa Barbara. If you've ever been to Santa Barbara, remote area can include probably 80% of the surrounding area. Big area, and you can actually be there and not be seen for a long time. He was there for hours. Now, they're also saying they believe, I'm talking about the police investigation is saying to this source, they believe Celeste died sometime in the spring of 2025. So we have Burke driving in the middle of the night to Santa Barbara County in the spring of 2025. And we have them saying Celeste died in the spring 2025.
I told you I smell a rat, because we know, according to the leak, he, the killer, did not do this alone. He had to have help dismembering the body, according to the report. If she is in fact dead since the spring, which coincides with that late night trip out to the remote area near Santa Barbara, you're going to have a witness. You're going to have somebody rat. An arrest is imminent in the D4VD case, as a witness is refusing to testify in front of a grand jury. What does that mean? Now, unlike a defendant who cannot be forced to testify, A witness can be put in jail if they refuse to testify. Straight out to Alexis Tereszchuk, Crime Stories investigative reporter. Alexis, this is what I know. I know it's a state's witness, which means it's a witness that will testify against David Anthony Burke, aka D4VD. It's a female witness against Burke who is refusing to testify, and she has lawyered up. She's got the same lawyer as the record exec that just got a, let's see, technical legal term, in front of the grand jury. Just wait, guys, until you hear what he said. That said, she's lawyered up, female, testifying against D4VD, refusing to come in, and she's about to end up in the can, in the pokey, for her recalcitrance. What do you know?
Well, you're exactly right. So there has been a grand jury that has been called in Los Angeles County, and Robert Morgenroth, who is an executive who's in charge of David's record label, he testified in front of the grand jury, and he was heard in the hallway outside the grand jury room talking to his attorney saying, I didn't even feel like I needed to be calling the police after she was found dead because we were on tour. I didn't want to jeopardize the tour.
Dave Mack, the person that's getting arrested is the female witness, and I'm betting that it's somebody that lives in that house that basically shacks up in there and knows what happened.
Nancy, we were given a huge clue on this a couple of weeks ago when, in some of our reporting, it was that the police had run that search warrant inside the house, and they were able to determine which person in that house had been sleeping in which room. Remember, they talked about how D4VD had this very tight inner circle. Well, there are 3 or 4 people that were with him constantly and stayed in that house with him. One of those people, I guarantee you, is a female that they're trying to get in court. There was also another tip that we had, and it goes back to when they said he had help. That whoever cut up Celeste had help. They went out, remember, on the long drive in the middle of the night, out in the middle of nowhere, had help. So we've got a couple of hints here as to who it is. The scary part of it is that the same attorney representing his manager also represents this unnamed female that they're trying to bring into court to testify in front of the grand jury.
Let me remind everybody, Celeste was just 13 years old when this whole thing cranked up with David Anthony Burke. She's dead, dismembered, turning into nothing but goo. And someone doesn't want to testify? Really? Someone that potentially stood by and watched all this happen and did nothing? You can run, but you can't hide. That female prosecutor knows you, your name, your DOB, your SSN, social security number, your address, your mama's name, your brother's name, your boyfriend's name, your tag number. Go ahead, go in, go under oath, and tell the truth. A little girl is dead, and you're refusing to testify. And you know another thing? To D4VD, David Anthony Burke's manager, shame on you. You actually said out in the courthouse hall that you didn't have any duty to call and report a dead girl in a trunk. All you wanted to do was continue with the tour. You know what? Pontius Pilate, just washing your hands and looking the other way. It ain't working this time. If you know or think you know anything about the brutal death of this little girl, Celeste Rivas, please call LAPD 213-486-6890. There will be justice in this case. 213-486-6890. You can either get involved, be a part of the solution, or you can stand back and do nothing and be part of the problem. Tonight, we remember an American hero, Officer Jesus Corona of Parlier PD, California, just 29, killed in the line of duty, leaving behind his wife and a little girl. American hero, Officer Jesus Corona. Thank you to our guests for being with us, especially to you for being with us. Nancy Grace signing off for tonight, but I'll see you tomorrow night. And until then, good night, friend.
It's white shirts with blood splatter.
Hi, guys. Please join us on our mission to find missing people, especially children, to solve unsolved homicides. And if you're on the go, please join us on your favorite podcast app where you can get all our content, where we, in our way, seek justice.
He's looking like a sicko.
I'm Caitlin. I'm a mom of two. I lift, I run, and I'm super competitive. I'm always on the move.
Yeah. Okay. What are they doing? Oh, okay.